Yes.
details get finalized, and then it'd just be approving it again?
Yes.
Okay.
Because there actually is one other piece of this that Dan and I have been discussing that's not really covered by anything, is the winery is a 17-acre property, and it has, 5 small vineyards on it. We're putting walking paths in and all that kind of stuff. It has a 30-foot by 120-foot patio in front of it. So we wanted to make sure that we were covering that as well, so that, people, if they had their glass of wine and wanted to go walk through the grapevines or something like that, that we'd be covered by that as well.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, no, I kind of touched on the other one. As you know, Miss Lynch has the Cork and Crown, and she would like to be able to sell wine and craft beer. And if you step outside on a nice day, if you want to pop the wine open and sample it there, her intentions aren't to be a bar. Her hours are very limited. It's just something that is, she felt that's prevalent. I mean, as far as a lot of little boutiques are popping up, and she wants to just be a part of that, and more to come on that. But yeah, Alderman Adams.
So would the tasting be considered consumption? I mean, would that be in the same classification kind of thing, or is that something you're looking at a different?
Not really tasting. I mean, if she gave it away, but she wants to sell.
Right, so basically like production and off-sale, like what we were just talking about with the wine bar with.
Yeah, I mean, my thinking is, as liquor commissioner, I really don't see the big volume out of her establishment. I don't want to ding her for $1,300 like I do for a bar, tavern. She's kind of specialty. I'd like to kind of keep that down for her. I think that would be appropriate, like we do for other places. But Dan will be here in 2 weeks, and he'll explain more. But we're going to craft something. There's some items under the liquor protocol that we're going to move forward and kind of change some things up. So. Well, we're voting on first reading of all of them. Yeah, well, I mean, historically, it takes 2 readings, so you can vote on it.
So what you're doing
I mean, you
here,
can vote no if you want, but.
so what you're doing here is you're just taking the 2 groups of licenses and you're expanding the number that the city has already authorized, as opposed to looking to create a new classification, if that makes sense.
Which classification does it fall?
Right now, I would say CC right now.
How much is the CC license?
Actually, she would be DD, and that's probably $1,175. So I would like to create a boutique license and charge her $400.
Yeah, I would suggest going as low as you can, because to have little boutiques like that sounds like a great idea, and it's really popular. And, maybe in a year or 2 we can talk about ramping up the price, but I think we should do something to encourage ideas like this and new business enterprise. So it'd be good to, like whatever the minimum would take, I would say go for, as low as you can go without the city actually losing money on the paperwork.
Thank you.
I don't know if it's fair for my case to pay full board to tasting and sell wine and get lower for others.
Well, he would have like a real restaurant and everything else, or, I mean, he would be doing that full time, wouldn't it? It'd be like a bigger business, it wouldn't just be a boutique.
I'm fine with it either way. At McClellan Hall, we're not CC, that's an event license, which is about half the price. On the other one, we will have more, she's talking about just having wine, hopefully she sample our wine with it. But, at the wine barn, we're also going to have liquor available too for wedding receptions and all, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah, The McClellan would be more like a banquet hall
Right.
license, which is lower.
Which is lower price anyway. But I appreciate the thought, Mike. Saved me a little while.
Yep.
Because I know just from talking to police officers in the past, one of the things they hate the most is going and enforcing alcohol stuff at bars, because that's where a lot of injuries at the police happen. And I don't see police getting into a boutique fight, so,
No.
I guess so.
Okay, thank you.
One last thing,
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor. I
Go
guess
ahead.
basically we'll know more about the new classification by the time the production of wine at the wine barn happens, or is that not achievable at this time?
I know that Mike's been talking with Dan, and Dan's not here, and we're gonna try to help Mr. Hayes out as much as possible with the right classification. I mean, I just didn't wanna hold things up for Mike. I mean, it was 50 degrees out today, and hopefully it's 70 degrees out in 3 weeks, so.
This basically shows Mike either we're in support of it or we're not, and then Dan and Mike can hash out the
Yeah, I
issues,
trust
so.
Dan to work with Mike on this.
Right.
Yeah, Lori, do you have a question?
I just wondered how quickly the turnaround time you were wanting, but after Mayor Ezra just said it's really nice today, probably ready to start selling.
We've actually started making wine already in the wine building. We have all the tanks full there, to get our inventory ready, and we brought tanks in from California that we just, offloaded today. So we're gonna start putting, wine in the tanks in that building as soon as we get the state license. We have to have the local license first to get the state license. So as soon as we're licensed there, we'll start putting wine in the tanks there as well.
It just seems like there's a lot of questions, so I thought if we could wait 2 weeks while Dan was here, but, like you said, it gives us the ability to, we're showing our voice of support for you, and Dan will be here in 2 weeks to help if we have additional questions,
And
so.
I'd be happy to take anybody who wants to come out and take a tour of the place and see how we make it and what we do. I'd be happy to do that anytime you like.
Next council meeting's a wine tasting.
Okay. Next item, city clerk's report.
One thing that you don't know is that the administrative adjudication or the municipal court, our software company has decided to not support us anymore. So we've been, Sarah and I have been listening to a couple of different companies to come in and basically take over the administrative adjudication software. We have got one company that has already converted from, I'm trying to remember the name of it now, but Justware, converted from Justware, so we would like to go with them. They are $2,000 less per year than what we're paying Justware right now. The only difference is that it's going to take about $4,500 to convert everything over and get everything done and get training on it and all that kind of thing. So we haven't worked out all the details. I talked with the IT today, Scott, and as soon as we get the details all worked out and get Scott involved, we'll find out what sort of things we have to do as far as IT is concerned. But right now, we've looked at both of these, and this one is kind of set for us. The other one was set for more of a county court, and it had a lot more to offer, but it wasn't anything that we needed. And it was about 5 times more. So what we'd like to do is just go further and get into, go under contract with this company and get all the everything worked out with them so that we know exactly where we're going to be. But right now, yearly it's a little over $3,000, and it's $4,500 to get it up and going, convert it over. We've got to do something because we don't have any more support from Justware. And the court has been doing a pretty good job, even with our assistant state's attorney, city attorney.
Even with, thank you.
I had to throw that in there. Any questions on it? If you haven't been to one of the court sessions, stop in sometime. You get a real education.
Hey Skip, I just got a question for you there. Is this new software, is this gonna be like a enclosed server base, or is it gonna be like a web-based kind of application?
That's what Scott asked me earlier, and that's one of the things that we're gonna get Scott involved on for right now. But what we've had before has been, that we've had it. Server, yeah. And hopefully that's what this one is too. That's why we've got Scott and not me. That's all.
Thank you, Skip. Committee reports. Any public comment at this time? Seeing no public comment, we will adjourn the workshop session. And I guess I would ask, please, everyone stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And I would ask the clerk to please call roll.
Adams,
Here.
Bartlett,
Here.
Cook,
Here.
Hopkins,
Here.
Lonergan,
Here.
Odenettle,
Here.
Scott,
Here.
Wankel,
Here.
Wormowski, Williams, Mayor Rizzard,
Here.
Assistant City Attorney Beef.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Is there a reading of the minutes this evening? Alderman Hopkins, seconded by Alderman Scott. All those in favor of approving the minutes, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Presentation of petitions
We have no petitions.
and any communications.
I
this
do
evening.
have some communications today. Let's see, let's do the first one since it's right here on top. The Donna Stair would like to use Community Park on Saturday, June 19th, from 9 to 4 p.m. for a Jacksonville Vintage Cup, which is baseball, with using 1869 rules of baseball. And they're planning on setting up 3 fields to do this, and they'll be in vintage attire. I've talked with Adam, and he has no problem with it. They've done this before, and he'll help them get set up.
Very good.
The next one is a request to use Community Park. No date really is set up. They're hoping to use it May 1, but it kind of depends upon the pandemic and where we're at with this. But it's a Whisk Me Away Bakery would like to have a spring event to basically, they're starting up their business. And they wanted to do that now, but obviously they can't do it. So they've talked to Adam, and I've talked to Adam, and they're going to try to set up this at the near the Ferris wheel in the Chamber building up around that area. We'll know more, but May 1 is the date that they're shooting for, but depending upon the weather and everything, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And the last one is a raffle license application for the Jacksonville Public Schools Foundation. This is an annual event, and we already have their surety insurance certificate. And we'll start, it's a, I'm trying to go down here. Tickets are $10, 3 for $25, and they're going to try to sell 4,000 of them. So that's why they're over $5,000 on their prizes, and that's why they have to get the insurance and get your approval. Any questions on the foundation raffle? That's all I have.
Thank you. Any claims tonight?
No
Any
claims.
One item under the mayor's report is a resolution confirming the reappointment of Dan Kindred to the Jacksonville Airport Authority, term to expire March 9th, 2026. Is there a motion for Mr. Kindred? Alderman Large Oldnettle, second by Alderman Lonergan. Yeah, you can read it.
Sure. Be it resolved by the City Council that it hereby gives its advice and consent to the reappointment of Dan Kindred to the office of Commissioner of the Board of Commissioners of the Jacksonville Airport Authority.
Thank you. We'll do a voice vote. All in favor of Mr. Kindred remaining on the Airport Authority, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? City Attorney's report.
We've got the first reading of the ordinance amending the liquor ordinance, and it would be it ordained by the City Council that Chapter 3 of the alcoholic beverages, Section 3-64C, is amended such that the limitation on the number of Class A, AA, B, BB, C, C, club, and bowling alley licenses are increased to a total of 47, and there's no more than one fairgrounds fair board license, and that there's no more than 16 D, DD, E, and BH licenses shall be issued at any time, on as it's stated in the ordinance. And this is, as we talked about in the workshop, to provide those licenses for Mr. Hayes and for Ms. Lynch.
Any discussion? Or I need a motion first, I'm sorry. Motion Alderman Cook, second by Alderman Hopkins. Discussion. Seeing none, I would ask the clerk to please call roll on first reading.
Adams,
Yes.
Bartlett,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Hopkins,
Yes.
Lonergan,
Yes.
Odenettle, Scott,
Yes.
Wankel,
Yes.
Warmowski, Williams. Motion passes.
Thank you. Any public comment at this time? Seeing no public comment, we'll go under consent agenda and finance, IT, and personnel. Alderman Cook.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have one item tonight. It's City Treasurer's Report for January 31st, 2021. I so move.
All right, is there a second under the consent agenda? Alderman Large Oldnettle. You've heard all the items under the consent agenda. Is there, you wish to pull for further discussion? This is a first, I think. Isn't it, Don? Yeah, I've never seen this one. Seeing none, I would ask the clerk to please call roll under the consent agenda.
It was so good she didn't even put it on here. Adams,
Yes.
Bartlett,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Hopkins,
Yes.
Lonergan,
Yes.
Odenettle, Scott,
Yes.
Wankel,
Yes.
Warmowski, Williams.
Thank you. Committee reports tonight. Finance, IT, and personnel. Alderman Cook.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have two items tonight. The first one is a resolution adopting the 2021 operating budget, and I so move.
Is there a second? Alderman Wankel.
Be it resolved that the 2020 operating budget is hereby adopted in the amount of $43,867,787.72.
Thank you. Any discussion on the budget? Alderman Adams.
Yes, thank you for adjusting it to include the parks maintenance and park supplies.
Seeing no further discussion, I would ask the clerk to please call roll.
Adams,
Yes.
Bartlett,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Hopkins,
Yes.
Lonergan,
Yes.
Odenettle,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Wankel,
Yes.
Wormowski, Williams.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Second item is second reading of an ordinance making appropriations for corporate purposes for fiscal year 2021 for the city of Jacksonville, Morgan County, Illinois, and I so move.
Is there a second? Alderman Bartlett?
Be it ordained that the Jacksonville Appropriations Ordinance for 2021 is hereby adopted in the amount of $43,867,787.72.
Thank you. Any discussion under second reading? Seeing none, I would ask the clerk to please call roll.
Adams,
Yes.
Bartlett,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Hopkins,
Yes.
Lonergan,
Yes.
Odenettle, Scott,
Yes.
Wankel,
Yes.
Wormowski, Williams.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Planning and Public Works tonight, Alderman Aaron Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have 4 items tonight. The first one being second reading of an ordinance amending the Jacksonville zoning map for property located at 459 and 511 Hardin Avenue and 504, 520, and 536 South Clay Avenue from public to R5. And I so move.
Is there a second? Alderman Lonergan?
Be it ordained that the City of Jacksonville zoning ordinance be amended and the map be amended for properties located at 459 and 511 Hardin Avenue and 504, 520, and 536 South Clay Avenue from public or PA to R5.
Any discussion? Seeing none, I would ask the clerk to please call roll.
Let's go the other way. Williams?
Yes.
Wormowski? Wankel?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Odenettle?
Yes.
Lonergan?
Yes.
Hopkins?
Yes.
Cook?
Yes.
Bartlett?
Yes.
And Adams.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right. Our second item is the second reading of an ordinance amending the Jacksonville zoning map for property located at 801 North Church from M1 to B4. And I so move.
Is there a second? Alderman Lonergan?
Be it ordained that the Jacksonville zoning map for property located at 801 North Church be amended from M1 to B4.
Discussion? I would ask the clerk to please call roll.
Adams?
Yes.
Bartlett?
Yes.
Cook?
Yes.
Hopkins?
Yes.
Lonergan?
Yes.
Odenettle? Scott?
Yes.
Wankel?
Yes.
Wormowski? Williams? Motion passes.
Our third item is the second reading of an ordinance amending the Jacksonville zoning map for property located at 322 South Clay Avenue and 447 East College Avenue from public to R5. And I shall move.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Alderman Adams?
Be it ordained that the Jacksonville zoning map for property located at 322 South Clay Avenue and 447 East College Avenue be amended from public or PA to R5 multifamily dwelling.
Discussion? I would ask the clerk to please call roll.
Williams? Wormowski? Wankel? Scott?
Yes.
Odenettle? Lonergan?
Yes.
Hopkins?
Yes.
Cook?
Yes.
Bartlett?
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And our fourth item tonight is the second reading of an ordinance amending the Jacksonville zoning map for property located at 428 and 438 East College Avenue from public to B4 with special use. And I so move.
Is there a second? Alderman Large Old Nettle.
Be it ordained that the ordinance amending the Jacksonville zoning map for property located at 428 and 438 East College Avenue, from public to B4 with special use.
Any discussion? No. I would ask the clerk to please call roll.
Adams,
Yes.
Bartlett,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Hopkins,
Yes.
Lonergan,
Yes.
O'Donnell. Scott,
Yes.
Wonkel. Wormowski. Williams. Motion passes.
Thank you. Is there any old business this evening? Alderman Adams.
I was just wondering about how the process we do the appropriations and the property tax levy. It seems like that we're raising the property taxes and then doing the budget. And I was wondering if doing it the other way around, seeing what the budget for 2021 is, and then looking at how much property tax levy to apply would be more appropriate. And is that something that that finance committee can look at before the tax levy of 2021? I mean, you know, like we voted on it in December, and maybe they could meet in October or November after the department heads get some kind of idea what the following year's budget will look like. And then that way we'd have a better picture of what we need to do to adjust the property tax levy to fit the budget that we already have.
What did we adjust the levy to this year? What was that number?
1.4.
1.4? Yeah, please.
I think it's a wonderful idea. We would have the budget all passed by the end of the year if we did it that way. Under ordinance, the city clerk is responsible for giving you a best guess budget, which I did. And with that budget, it kind of gave you an idea of where we were or what we had. Not everything was there, but most everything was there. We have to pass the levy before the last Tuesday of December in order for the county to have that information. With regard to the budget and the appropriations budget, those don't have to be passed until the end of the first quarter of the following year. So if we did it the way that you're requesting to do it, we'd have the budget passed in December. We could have 2 meetings there and be done. I don't have a problem with that because we've got most of it, you know, filled in and ready to go by the 1st of December. There's just some tweaks that we have to do for the next couple, 3 months. So you did get an idea of where the budget was going to be. That's why we kept the budget down and we didn't add any extras for the actual general fund. The 1.4 only covered the 2 pensions, the fire and police. So the idea is good, somewhat not practical.
So if there was any way for it to happen, would it be like at a committee of the whole, or would it be under finance?
It would be committee of the whole.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Adams. Any other old business? Alderman Wormowski.
Well, just a question, is tonight's city council on being simulcast with the video or not?
Yes.
Just a suggestion, I looked on the website and I looked on my phone and I couldn't figure out a way to look at it. So I don't know how many people actually watch, but I think the communication, the website or something needs to be changed so it's easier to find that link.
Okay, I'll pass that along. Thank you. I thought there was a link on the website, but there's not.
Well, I saw it at home and I was looking at it here during the meeting just really quick and I couldn't find it anywhere, so maybe it's there, but it's a question of finding it. Should be a little easier.
Okay. Oh, I thought it was on the front page, but
It is.
I'll check it. Yeah.
It's on the front page.
Well, we'll just have to market that a little bit better, right? Okay. Thank you, Phil and Steve. Any other old business? Any new business? Alderman Adams.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I just got a response back from Built for Zero, the Rockford organization that achieved the zero homelessness and zero veteran homelessness. They, the director of the program was out on vacation the past 2 weeks. I just volunteered at the homeless shelter last weekend, the Tiosa, and the one person utilizing the service was a veteran. So that's something that I still think is important, is the tiny homes for veterans like Rushville did to end their veteran homeless situation. And I think going forward with that would be a good idea, since we know that there is a need for it here. And also working with the Built for Zero program and getting with special studies, the director of the program said that she could set up a call, and she already sent me some information that I can share with the Special Studies Committee and the group. But basically what it is establishing, her office runs a single point of entry, and that's basically saying that this person or this office is who keeps track of everybody all the time that is saying that they're homeless, and then, you know, whether that's chronic homeless or just, you know, couch surfing. And they basically classify it into 5 categories, subcategories: veterans, chronic homeless, youth, families with children, and single adults, so they can better direct the way that the people that need the service can get help the best. And that's just basically working with like public housing and some other entities to be able to coordinate those efforts, and then looking at how many people are getting their homes as compared to how many people are asking for a home. And once that number starts getting below the intake number of the people that have homes, and then that's when the achieving the zero homelessness happens. It doesn't actually have to be 0 people. It just has to be, you have 10 people a month that come in for needing a home, and 8 of them get the home. So, you know, I think it's 0.5% or something like that. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. And just getting that established to be able to have a recorded history. The way that one of the PDFs that was sent explained it was Walmart can track every single item in the whole globe right now from their computer, and why can't we do the same with our homeless here in our community? And so knowing that where everybody's at all times, to be able to provide them with the services that they need, then that's basically what this is trying to accomplish. And I think it'd be a good program to look into in the future for Jacksonville.
Thank you. Thanks for looking into that. I know Mr. Nyberg is also looking into that too. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just have a couple new business items. I want to thank Les Ballinger and his crew for a tough couple weeks for the snow removal. I know it's never perfect, but those guys work hard to get the snow out, and I'm just glad to see a nice sunny day today and tomorrow to melt it. So good job to the street department and also our water department. They've been battling a lot of water main breaks, and you know, with the freezing and the thawing, there's more to come on that, but I want to thank them. And also, I'm sure there's more to come on this, but House Bill 3653 that was passed, signed by the governor today, is going to create some havoc as far as our law enforcement community, and more to come there. I'm sure there's good things in the bill, but there's some bad things in that bill as well, which is going to put a big burden on our law enforcement. So more to come on that, and Chief Meffer and I will chat. We've already kind of been communicating about that and saw this coming down the pipeline. We were hoping the governor wouldn't sign it, but he did, and we'll just have to kind of switch gears on how we can tackle things. So, any other new business tonight? Alderman Aaron Scott.
Yeah, I've had a couple restaurant owners reach out about they're having a really hard time getting enough servers. And currently, the state of Illinois requires you to be 18 to carry alcohol to a table. And the Jacksonville ordinance is listed at 19. And they were wanting the council to consider lowering our age here in Jacksonville to 18 for servers, and thinking that it would make a difference and open up some new applicants to help staff these restaurants right now, because they're really having a hard time with it.
And I think we probably spoke to the same individual, and I've spoken to a few with that ask. It just opens up the pool as far as employment, and we will have this on the agenda in 2 weeks to take that to 18 years old instead of 19, to follow the guidelines of the state of Illinois. That's okay with the council? Any other new business? Seeing none, I would need a motion to adjourn. Alderman Don Cook, seconded by Alderman Hopkins. We are adjourned.